guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Wednesday, guys. Happy hump day. I want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Wednesday, guys. Another Card Chronicles. So I want to jump on really quickly and piggyback off of the community post on last night when I when I said to you guys to stop asking God for 87 signs. So listen, I had to go to the hospital to check on one of my clients earlier, and as I was sitting in the waiting room, I literally burst out laughing reading your comments on that post. We gotta do better, y'all, right? So here's the thing, guys. We all hear from God differently, right? We all hear from God differently. For me, it's more than not, it's the internal prompting, and then other ways will typically kind of come periodically, but overall, it's that internal prompting, and then He confirms it with scriptures. It's confirmed. So for me, the revelation always comes just through that internal prompting, that download. But what I've noticed is that God knows that so well that He knows there's going to be times where we are confused. And sometimes it's not that we're even confused. Here's what's going on with a lot of people. You're really not confused. You know what God has said to you, because when God made it clear to you, let's just say 3 years ago, when God made it clear to you, you had no reservations about it then. You were too busy harassing His nerves in the wilderness, ready for whatever it is that He promised you. You were checking up on Him. So you weren't confused about it. You were running Him down about what's taking Him so long. So you weren't confused about it at all. You knew it was. But because now there's an acceleration for some of you in the spiritual realm, and you feel it. It's things are accelerating. Things are coming together. It's haste. Is it hasten or hasten at the end? The Bible scripture. I think it's hasten. Hasten to the end. That's what's going on. And so because things are literally accelerating, then some of us are becoming hesitant for different reasons. For some, you may feel like you're just not ready yet. You thought you were. You're so busy harassing God nerves in the wilderness. You really thought you were. And now that He's saying, listen, all right, let's go. You're now like kind of, wait a minute, hold up. Do you think I'm really ready? Can I really handle it? Do you really think And God is like, what do you mean? You're sitting there harassing my nerves about what's taking me so long, and now I'm coming back to get you, and you're sitting here asking me if you can handle it. What do you mean? That's why I processed you. That's why when you were complaining about me taking so long, I didn't pay you no mind, because I knew that a day would come and I would open this door for you, and I would have to have you shape and mold just for it. So that's what I've been doing all along. I've done that. So why are you questioning it? And if we're honest with ourselves, we are a little bit afraid, right? Regardless of what we know God says, we know God says it is. We know God says we can handle it. It's due season, it's this and that. But if we're honest with ourselves, we're still questioning, like, can I really? And so God wants you to understand that the reason why He really builds you up in that wilderness, right, or that alone season, or whatever season you were in, the reason why God really builds you up in that season, and he had so many relationships to fall apart, is because He was teaching you to depend solely on Him. He was teaching you to never ever let go of His hand, because you experienced some things in that wilderness that only you and God know about. You experienced some things in that wilderness that you had to latch on to God's hand. There were things you couldn't do on your own. So God was actually training you that when He opens that door to do season or whatever you're waiting on, when He opens that door, the thing that you're still worried about, if you can really handle it or do it, He teaches you to hold on to his hand because that's what you're going to have to do in due season. If you let go of God's hand in due season, you're going to fumble, and you're going to fumble bad. It's not going to work out. You're going to miss the whole blessing. He's going to probably throw you back in. You have to latch on and hold on to God's hand in due season, or whatever blessings that God is manifesting in your life. There's just absolutely no way around it. You have to. There are things that God gave you insight on. There are things that God gave you downloads about, and you probably jotted these things down. You probably remember some of these things. Don't forget those things. Don't forget those things. There were promises that you made to God that, Lord, if you give me all this due season, if you just make it happen, now, don't forget those things. Don't forget those things. It's going to be crucial. It's going to be crucial for you to go back and remember every promise you made to God. Every commitment that you and God made. Like, it's going to be crucial that you recall these things and apply these things when the door opens. So if you're latching onto God's hand, then there's really no need to be afraid. See, that fear comes in when you're trying to do something all on your own. So you have to be intentional about remembering to attach yourself to God. Those of you who are being called to marriages, and God is preparing you for marriages, something's going to be popping up in your mind. The toxic relationships your parents had, the toxic marriages that you saw all of your life, your aunties and your uncles and your everybody you saw, either they went through a divorce, or they're just miserable. Like, you've never ever seen what a healthy, wholesome marriage looks like. So you're gonna have all kind of things popping up in your head. I'm gonna mess this up. My trigger's gonna mess it up. Nobody ever did it. I remember my dad said, don't ever get married because she's going to divorce you and take all your money. All these different stuff are going to pop up in your head. And now that these things are starting to manifest, you're like, to those of you who God is calling to start businesses, right? Stop looking at numbers. Stop looking at numbers on the TV. Stop reading about numbers and how many businesses are failing. You have to get yourself in alignment with what God has said. If God has told you you're going to be a successful business person, you're going to have to believe that. You're going to have to own that. You're going to have to wear that thing. Even when you may not be as confident in your own mind, you're going to have to wear it. You're going to have to walk it like it's already there. You have to start living the promise like it has already manifested. So put on your suit, right? You might be broke as a joke. Put on your suit and act like you're already that millionaire that God said you are. Start living it, so when the door opens, you're just flowing in it already. But don't worry about the numbers of what society says. That's why society is tanking, because God is transferring kingdom wealth. So don't worry about their numbers. Their numbers decreasing, yours is going to increase. If God said it, it is. Period. To those of you who God is calling to relocate, and you're still like, I don't know, but why? Why? I'm comfortable. You may be comfortable there, but God may have your whole wife there. He may have your whole spouse there. What are y'all doing? He may have, I'm sorry guys, somebody next to me almost got run over. He may have your whole spouse there. He may have your ministry there. That business that you've been trying to get up off of the ground for the last 55 years that your friends won't support. The place he's trying to send you, right? Support is going to be chasing you down. So now all of a sudden, now that the people are calling you back, telling you, hey, the job is not available, we're just waiting on you to relocate, and you're now like, Lord, hold up. Hold up. What if nobody likes me there? Who's going to take care of my family? Because they always depend on me to cook on Sundays. Who's going to, Lord, what happens if my car breaks down and I don't know nobody to call to help me to get some gas? Lord. But all throughout the season in the wilderness, you're asking God, God, please get me out of this wilderness. Please give me a successful business. Please give me successful ministry. You were ready. You were begging God for these things. If you don't go, Lord, please forgive me. God. You were begging God for all these things in the wilderness, begging. And now the God to say, okay, job well done. You stood the test of time. You were transformed. You held my hand through the wilderness. I've taught you some things. I told you some things. And I thought we were in alignment. So why are you now afraid to move? Why are you afraid to move? You were harassing my nerves. You were harassing my nerves about what's taking me so long. And now I came back to open the door. And now you're afraid to relocate. But I thought we had a pact. I thought I said I got you. I thought I showed you everything is going to manifest when you get there. And now you're making up all these excuses. Everybody calling you now and saying, well, I don't think it's a good idea. Shut these people out. Shut these people out. Let me tell you something. When you are waiting on God and when you are in certain processes, I'm telling you, this is why some of these seasons are extremely lonely, and it needs to be. It needs to be lonely. It needs to be just you and God in certain seasons. Because I'm telling you, the enemy will use people to get in your ear, and the people don't even realize it. The enemy will start having people to say certain things to you, and they're speaking against the very thing that God has said to you. And now you're questioning them like, I mean, God, can you give me one more sign? I done gave you 87. I used a random person at the gas station. You read the word this morning. You highlighted the word. You underlined the word. I gave you a spiritual nudge. In fact, I've given you nudges all week long. Why do you need another sign? Move. Go. If you don't embrace it, I'm going to go ahead and just find somebody else. I don't have time to wait on you. Because you're shaking and trembling when you've been harassing my nerve for the thing. Like, you're going to own it. You're going to embrace it. You're going to know you're worthy for it. You're going to know that you can handle it. You're going to know that it's going to be successful long as you hold on to my hand. As long as you hold on to my hand. What are you worried about? If you let go of my hand, I'll convict you. Your job is just to pay attention to the conviction and get back on it. Slip if you want. Slip if you want. Slip if you want. Play with it. Play with it. Play with it. Guys, I wanted to share that. But when I'm still laughing at y'all comments. But listen, let me tell you. That's not me often, but that was for me as well when I posted that yesterday. Typically because, again, I'm very aware of how I hear from God. Like, I just know that I know when I hear from God. But then sometimes some of these blessings can be so grand. Some of these blessings are over your head. And it feels good to say, yeah, I'm ready. It feels good to say, yeah. But listen, when them things start manifesting and it moves so quickly along in the spiritual realm, you're like, hold up, wait a minute, up. Slow down a little bit. God's like, slow down. But you were rushing me. But you want me to slow down now. No, let's go. Let's get it. Period. Let's get it. Period. Guys, you do not need another sign. I want to share that with you guys. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.